What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Charlotte Hornets. And of course, if you've seen any video like this in the past, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls are coming off of, what can I say, right? In their last outing, it wasn't too much of a delight. And, you know, looking at things ahead and looking at the way things have panned out over the course of the season so far, you know, losing to the Los Angeles Clippers in your last outing and going, you know, against a team like the Hornets who you were up big against in a game on their home floor and you lose that game. Now it's a little sense of redemption. LaMelo Ball is out there. So you know what you're going to get from him. Terry Rozier, you know, PJ Washington, guys like that, they have talent. Now on this Bull side of the ball, the usual suspects are starting. And let me say this before I go into the game. DeMar DeRozan was named an All-Star again this year. And I did make a mention in a previous video that I did not think the Chicago Bulls would have any All-Stars this year. I was wrong. So let me dial that back, and I will humbly apologize as DeMar DeRozan will play in this year's All-Star game representing the Chicago Bulls, which is a great honor, not only for a player of his caliber, but also for the team. Now, the Hornets did end up getting the first basket of the game, but you did see Ayo Dosunmu go to the rim himself. The Bulls do jump out on a 9-5. The Hornets do jump out 9-5 early on in the game, which causes an early timeout. But you do see Ayo Dosunmu be aggressive. The Hornets were getting rim runs, and that wasn't to no surprise because, you know, makes guys like Mason Plumlee. You see that often when it comes to Chicago. Sometimes Vooch can be out of place, and guys like, you know, Patrick can be. The Bulls don't have a solid enough front court. So you did see things like that, but the Bulls bench tonight was very, very, very special. You seen Alex Caruso coming with a three. You seen good minutes by Andre Drummond, and the Bulls defense was causing offense. You seen the Alex Caruso effect. And by the Caruso effect, I meant deflections, you know, him being defensively sound in the game. You also seen a lot of threes early on by the Charlotte Hornets, which was cause for concern because we know threes are better than twos, and the Bulls are not a great three-point shooting team. But the Bulls did end up leading by 2 after 1. Now, going into the second, you did see the Hornets get the first two of the quarter, but you seen a great pass from Vucevic to Alex Caruso. Kobe was getting to the rim. You seen Vucevic getting to the post. Vooch even himself getting to the rim. He had a big dunk at one point tonight. You also seen Andre Drummond on the rebounds, looking like a man amongst boys at time, and I'm glad that he's back into somewhat of a rotational player with, you know, the lineups that Billy is choosing to put out there. Instead of just going with the small ball 5 and Derrick Jones Jr., he elected in this game to put in Drummond, which, you know, benefited the Bulls a lot. You seen Kobe White with some threes, but also you seen Bulls turnovers. At one point, I believe the Bulls did have 8 turnovers to the Charlotte Hornets 9, which wasn't too bad in the first half. Now, the Bulls did lead by 4 at the half. And one thing that arose from this game that you didn't hear is you didn't hear me speak a lot about Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, but I'll get into that. Now, the Bulls did start the half on a 10-0 run, but Terry Rozier did start to come along in the third quarter. The Hornets' offensive rebounds were a problem for the Bulls for most of this evening. Now, DeMar DeRozan didn't have that many shots taken in the first half, and he made 2 threes in the third. The Bulls were up 14 at one point, and we know what happens when the Bulls get big leads. They pretty much turn to a different team. And, of course, with the Bulls' bench production, the Hornets did go on a run. Now, this run in particular did not spell the end for the Bulls, but the Hornets were right there in the fourth quarter. The Hornets were, I would say, the more hungrier team down the stretch of this basketball game. You've seen a lot more scrappiness, a lot more of, okay, they think they can put the pieces together to win this game. And ultimately, from the fourth quarter on to the rest of the game, I feel like the Bulls, they made their way to the finish line tonight. They figured it out, thank goodness, and they got it done. 114-98. The Chicago Bulls did win tonight. They are now 24-27. And you're supposed to beat a team like Charlotte, who only have 15 wins on the year. They are 15-38. The Chicago Bulls did only have two 30-point quarters tonight, and that was quarter 1 and 3. They had 31 in the first, and they had 32 in the third. The Chicago Bulls' leading scorer in tonight's matchup was Ayo Dosunmu. Absolutely had a great outing by your starting point guard. Vucevic did lead the way with rebounds with 12, and you also seen DeMar DeRozan, who's been passing the ball at a very, very, very efficient level, had 7 assists this evening. As far as box scores go, I will get into that right now. As far as box scores go for the Hornets, their leading man was Terry Rozier with 23, LaMelo Ball with 19, 8 and 6. He was ejected from tonight's basketball game because at the end of the game, he thought he was fouled on a run out fast break. He thought he was fouled. He smacked the stanchion or almost smacked the stanchion, and they gave him a technical foul for that, and he must have said something to the referee and got himself an early shower. Now, for the Chicago Bulls, you've seen a lot of balanced scoring. Let's get into the bench first. Shout outs to Kobe White tonight, who shot 7 of 13 from the field, 20 points, 3 threes, 4 rebounds. You've seen Ayo Dosunmu with 22. You've seen Andre Drummond with a double-double, 15 and 11. You've seen Zach LaVine had a lackluster evening. I did not hear Zach LaVine's name called a lot. He did play 36 minutes, but only took 8 shots. He went 1 of 4, 1 rebound, 4 assists. And I'm going to get into the Zach LaVine thing by the tail end of this video. DeMar DeRozan only had 15. He shot 12 times, 4 of 12 from the field, 2 threes, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Patrick Williams, who kind of tweaked his ankle towards the end of tonight's matchup, did have 2 points. Both his made shots with 3s, 3 rebounds. Yeah, man. Bench production, you seen Alex Caruso get in there 7 minutes, 7 points. Dragic did get in there, but he did not score. He took 1 shot. Did not score at all. Did have 4 assists. But yeah, a balanced attack from Chicago. As far as team stats go, they did have 24 assists, 40 rebounds as a team, shot 11 of 28 from 3, and 51% from the field. So that's 40 for 3. And, to get a win versus a team where I feel like you should beat them and beat them soundly, the Bulls did get that W tonight, which is pretty much all you could ask for in a scenario where the Bulls are in, fighting. Every game pretty much counts. In their next outing, they play against the Portland Trail Blazers, and Damian Lillard is coming to town, Bulls fans. We know what to expect from the multi-time All-Star who's capable of pouring in anywhere from 40 to 60 points on any given night. The Bulls have to be ramped up, not only offensively, but defensively on players of his caliber. But as far as tonight's game go, I can definitely allude to just balance. That's all was the message for tonight's matchup. Just an overall balanced scoring, not only from your top guys, but bench production. Electing to go with Drummond was something that was key to tonight's win. Electing to, just see Ayo Dosunmu be more aggressive. We know what he's capable of. And Kobe White just making shots. Now, like I said, in tonight's game, you've seen what the Bulls are capable of when they play a full 48 minutes of basketball. Now, on the second turn, I'm interested to see how, things pan out in the next week. And over the course of the next 6 days, we all know that the NBA trade deadline is coming upon us. Are the Bulls going to be buyers or sellers? They haven't been up to the task at hand from last year, at this point last year. There's still a lot of question marks as far as, is Zach LaVine the player to build around for the future? What are they going to do with DeMar DeRozan's contract? What are they going to do with Vucevic's contract? Do they want to stick it out with Lonzo? What are they going to do with Patrick Williams? It's a lot of questions to be said. We know what they are capable of when they put it together. Do the front office want these guys to grow together and see what happens in turn after this year? Bring the squad back whole and healthy and go from there, or elect to decimate the roster, start from scratch, and build around a younger core is yet to be determined. Right now, I'm still on the fence about exactly what they should or shouldn't do. I know in a previous video I did say just sell, and trade pretty much everybody. But, that was a very emotional answer, because you come off a loss where you were actually up in that basketball game. So that leads to more emotions to come out when you actually get a chance to discuss the basketball game. But we're going to hang our hats on tonight's win. Look forward to our next matchup against the Portland Trailblazers. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that post notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. Bulls fans, Hornets fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into this channel, I'd like to say thank you. It's greatly appreciated. It does not go unnoticed. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I catch you guys on the next video.